There is a marketing professor at New York University Stern School that has a better investment track record than you do. In fact, he has a better track record for investing than most people on Wall Street does. And who am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Scott Galloway, who is is a professor at the Stern School at NYU in marketing. And if you've seen one of my previous videos, Can Scott Galloway Make You Rich? I've talked a lot about him and how his information is very valuable. He talks mostly about tech stocks, technology companies, and the role with marketing and how they can, the larger role they're playing in the economy. Well, in one of his videos that he made almost 2 years ago, he talked about the fact that he only owned 3 stocks. And I'm going to play a clip right now.
I own 3 stocks, Apple, Amazon, and Nike, and I'm about to purchase a 4th. Here at L2, we've attempted to suss out the underpinnings of the 4 horsemen, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, and Google. We have great CEOs, visionary capital. They become an operating system for their respective category. They're seen as good citizens. They're a bike ride from a major engineering university. They have vertical distribution and several other factors, and we've applied those to other companies to try and identify who could be the 5th horseman or who could be worth $300 billion plus. Netflix. By 2020, Netflix revenue is expected to quintuple to $11 billion.
As you can see, Scott Galloway owned, as of November 2016, just 3 stocks, Amazon, Nike, and Apple. And then in that video, he announced that he was adding a 4th stock, Netflix. So let's see how this portfolio has performed since November of 2016. As you can see here, Scott Galloway's portfolio performance almost quadrupled that of the S&P 500 since October of 2016. Scott Galloway's portfolio of individual stocks include Nike, which returned 33.91%, Amazon, which returned 92.01%, Apple, which returned 65.06%, and his latest pick, Netflix, which returned 230.18%. for a total portfolio performance from Scott Galloway of 105.19% versus the S&P 500, which returned 27.63% since October of 2016. He has almost quadrupled the performance of the S&P 500 benchmark during one of the best 2-year runs of the S&P 500. So Scott Galloway knows his stuff. He knows a couple things. First of all, don't hold a lot of stocks. If you want to outperform the S&P 500, what you do is, instead of going broad, you do a lot of research on a handful of companies and you just buy at the most 5, because you're only going to get outperformance by picking a couple of stocks. And this is a guy that does a lot of research. I mean, he's a professor. He wrote a book called The 4 on the 4 big Silicon Valley giants, Apple, Google, Facebook, and Amazon. And so this guy really does his research. He does not diversify when it comes to trying to beat the S&P 500. And I highly, highly recommend that you subscribe and look at his channel. His YouTube channel is called L2 Inc., which is also the name of his marketing firm. And I just want to show that if you want to get some really great outperformance in the market, if you want to beat the S&P 500, sometimes it really pays to look beyond people who work exclusively in the investing world and look at people who specialize in one thing. It could be someone who specializes in medical research, or someone who specializes in tech, or someone who specializes in, let's say, transports or commodities, because they're going to see stuff that the rest of us don't see. So I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.